Hi, I am Ambarish. So in this course, we'll learn how you can start your own photography business. So you have been aspiring to become a full-time photographer, right? You might be practicing as a hobby photographer, as a freelance photographer, and right now you're looking to start your own brand, build your own brand, and start a photography business in your city. So first thing that you need to understand is starting a business is not a big deal, but sustaining that business for a longer period of time, having a recurring revenue, having a substantial and positive cash flow, and having profits is very much important, and having adequate amount of capital is very much important to keep your business running and to make your business successful. So in this course, we'll walk you through all the details that you need to follow and take care while starting your business, so you don't fall into the trap of having lawsuits and all and running out of money. Because when you're starting out business, capital is very important, and there are certain things which you need to keep in mind, because mostly photographers are creative people and not very business savvy people. So that is why this course is very important for you. In this course, we'll also learn how you can name your business, how domain and having search engine optimization, having a dedicated team, and having the right equipment can help you get better and good clients, and it can also add your brand value and increase your revenue. We'll also discuss how you can set pricing of your business, of your service that you're providing, and how you can avoid pitfalls in this business, because there is a very low entry barrier, and how you can sustain and over a period of time build a sustainable and very valuable brand and have a loyal customer base. So what are you waiting for? Let's start your photography business. This video is very important because the principles that we are going to talk about is applicable to any kind of business that you want to start. So if your brother wants to start a business, this video can help him or her as well. So here you need to understand that starting a business is not a very big deal, because lots of people can start a business. You can apply for a registration and you can get a registration if you pay $100, $200, or maybe 10,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees. But starting a business is not a very big deal, but sustaining that business for a longer period of time, which will sustain for 20 years, 30 years, 50 years down the line, which you can pass on to your next generation, is very important. And here you need to keep in mind very serious things, very important things. One is capital, how much capital that you have. You need to have insurance, you need to avoid liabilities, you need to create more and more assets. You don't want to upset your clients, you need to have positive reviews, and you need to be available to everyone. Your business should be available to everyone, and you have to make way that people can find you and your business. So these are the very basic terms that we are going to discuss, and we are going to walk you through, and we are going to help you understand how you can build a sustainable and very valuable brand and a photography business. So the first thing that is very important, that you need a name. When you're born, you're given a name by your parents, right? By which you are identified right now. So similarly, you are giving birth to a business. You're starting a business. So your business needs a name. So you have to be very careful to choose and select a name for your business. You can start off with your name and photography, like Rajiv Photography, Roger Photography, Candid Photography, or any Andy Photography, Anshul Photography, any name. You can give any name to your photography business that you're going to start. But you need to also understand that when you're putting your name like Roger Photography, your business is only limited to photography. So anyone who is getting to know about your business, when they listen to your business, the name of your business, when they hear Roger Photography, they will, even though later down the line, if you are diversifying into videography, into graphics, into production, still your name will be the same. People will assume that you only do photography. So here, what you need to do, you can start with Roger Photography, but we would strongly suggest you to choose a name which is not synonymous to a specific profession. And also you need to also understand that when you're starting with like Rogers or Walmart or something of that sort, those names are already taken, and there are people who have already applied for trademark with that name. So when you're starting your business with that name, so there's a risk of having a lawsuit against you because you're using that name. And also there are issues with domain availability, social media name handles availability. So there are many factors which we have to consider before starting your business, and when you're starting and looking for a name for your business. So the best method that we follow to find out a name for your new business is we take few words. You can take few words, like for example, Roger. You can take a word Andy. You can take another word, flower, red, yellow, anything. You can take 3, 4, 5 words, and you can take each syllables from there, each letter from there, and combine them and make a name out of it. And if you're very lazy enough like me, so you can go to Google, and there are multiple websites which can provide you with that service. What you can do is you can put up those words there, so they will do a jumble up. They will work with those words and give you a composite of those words. So whichever you find suitable, you can choose from there. For example, the website that you are learning this course is SkillYogi. So what I was doing is I was just working around with all those words, like we are teaching skills, and yogi, what it means is that you are learned, right? So we were just working with these words, we combined together and we got skillyogi.com. So this is how you can work around and take few words and work around it and find out the best name for your business. And it will be preferable if you don't combine your personal name in there, as I said, because it might attract lawsuit. People might have trademark on that name or specific word, or you might not later on obtain trademark on that name itself. So this is very important. So whenever you are choosing a name, make sure that that name is not taken by anyone else. You can do a Google search and you can work around with different kinds of words, which will help you achieve a very unique name. Also, you need to understand when you are using your own personal name, for example, Roger Photography, later down the line, and if your business is like sustained for 30 years, 40 years down the line, you are old and you want to retire and you want to pass on or sell the business to your future generation or someone else. So at that point of time, if you sell your business and the person who is running that business is Andy, if someone comes to them and asks, like, okay, this is Roger's Photography, right? And who are you? And if they tell them like, I'm Andy, so where is Rogers? Who is Rogers? And if they're like, okay, he has sold his business to us, so we own Roger Photography. But in that case, clients will be confused. Like, okay, this is Rogers Photography. It is owned by Andy. Where is Rogers, right? So there is a confusion. There, the brand value goes down. You don't want that. So in that case, you have to select a name which you can pass on later on or which you can sell later on. So your personal name, you should avoid using your personal name. You should avoid using very specific words like photography, or frames or something of that sort, which is very specific to a specific profession or a location or a city. So this thing you have to keep in mind. So once you have selected name for your business, so the next part, which is very important, is defining your market size. Because when you're starting your photography business, photography is very wide. There is wedding photography, there is sports photography, there is event photography, there is fashion photography, there is e-commerce photography, there is food photography, there is interior photography. I can go and on and on and on. So there are lots of photography genres in photography itself. So it can be divided into a number of genres, right? So which one will you choose? So this is very important. You cannot just go around and do everything, because then you will be a generic photographer. You don't want to be a generic photographer. You want to be a niche photographer because you want to specialize in a specific segment of photography. So in this case, you have to understand where you are good at. Do you want to do wedding photography? Do you want to do fashion photography? You can, before starting your business, you can work around and have some experiment. You can just do experiment with every sort of photography, whichever suits you. And later on, you have to be very specific which market you are going after. So once you have defined like, okay, I will do wedding photography, so you need to understand how many wedding photographers are there, what is the market size, how much is the value. So how to do that? So let's see. So for example, you are living in Minnesota, Michigan, anywhere in the world, anywhere you're living in Kolkata, Siliguri, Darjeeling. So first thing that you need to do is, if you're choosing wedding photography as your business, as a market of your business, as a genre of your business, then what you need to do is, obviously the first thing that you need to do is do a very simple Google search. So what you need to do is type wedding photographer dash city or space city. Your city can be where you live. It can be Siliguri, Kolkata, Detroit, Michigan, anywhere. So what you need to do is basic Google search. So there you will get to know like how many wedding photographers are there in your city. So preferably the first few segments or the first few searches, what you will get is wedding directories like The Knot, WedMeGood, Wedding.net, and these Wedding Buy. These are the websites where you will find a number of photographers. It is a directory of photographers in your city. So you can understand how much competition is there. There might be 500 photographers, there might be 50 photographers, or there might be 5 photographers. So it all depends where you live and how big market is. So if you see that there are 500 photographers, you don't need to be disheartened, right? Because if 500 photographers are surviving in that city, so that means there is enough market for everyone. That is why they are able to survive their business there in that city itself, right? So here you need to understand what is the market size. If there is 500, you will understand like, okay, this market is quite big. If there are 5 photographers in your city, if your city is very small, then you also know that there is actually a market which is existing there. So you can just go after it. So once you have defined your market, you have seen how many photographers are there, how many competitors are there. So the next thing that you need to do is obviously pricing. We'll get into the pricing segment later on, but I'll touch a little bit on this topic. So once you have found out that these many photographers are there, you will also get, like, what is the budget. There can be $1,000 photographer, $5,000, $3,000, $500, even $100. It may be 500 rupees, 5,000 rupees, 5 lakh rupees. So it all depends on the market size. So fairly enough, you will get an idea like how much they are charging. Typical charges are 30,000 rupees or maybe $1,000. It might be $3,000 or maybe 1.5 lakh. So you will get a rough idea, at least a range of charges, like it starts from here to here. So you will get an understanding. So from there you can understand, okay, this much I can charge, or this much, what is the bracket in which I can put my charges in, or my pricing. So this is very important. So once you have selected name for your business, so next thing, what do? We register on all social media websites, right? So if your business name is, for example, SkillYogi, let us take this website where you are learning this course, skillyogi.com, right? So what you need to do is, once you have found out the name, you have found out the perfect name, you have selected the perfect name, the next thing that you need to do, obviously you don't need to invest any amount of money. You can just go on these platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, 500px. There are multiple websites. It all depends on where you want to promote your business, where do you want to have presence of your business. So you can go on those websites, register, and make a page or a user or an account there with your business name. So it is very much important that you need to have uniformity in all these social media pages. For example, facebook.com/myskillyogi, Facebook, youtube.com/myskillyogi, YouTube, twitter.com/myskillyogi. So you will have a uniformity of username. So whenever you are just sending links to anyone, if they want to check your Twitter, if they want to check your Facebook, if you want to check their Twitter or Facebook or any social media account, they can just do .com/myskillyogi. So they will be able to access our page, access our account, right? So they will be able to get in touch with us. So you want to make sure that people have the ease, and you need to make it very easy so people can contact you, remember your username, so they can easily access all the content that you're providing. So if there is no uniformity, so what will happen is, if someone is asking for your YouTube channel, if someone is asking for your Facebook channel, Facebook page or Twitter account, so what you will do is you won't remember everything, right? So if you have uniformity in all the username, you can just send them a link or like text. Okay, you can just do a backslash or forward slash and MySkillYogi. You can access all the social media pages. We are available on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, on all these websites with this same uniform username. So this is very important. So once you have registered, you have selected the name for your business, you have registered all the social media pages, everything, and you need to put up a profile picture, right? You need to have a display picture which makes your page unique. You need to have a brand identity. Your business needs to have an identity, right? When you are applying for a license, you need to put your photo there, right? You cannot just put your photo on your business profiles, right? So what you need the identification mark. What is it? It's a logo. It's a very simple thing. When you think about Apple, you remember that's Eat an Apple, right? So when you think about Vodafone, when you think about Reliance, when you think about Exxon, when you think about Mercedes, when you think about BMW, when you think about Lamborghini, Ferrari, I can just go on and on and on. Even after, when you see their logo, you can instantly remember that this is the brand that they signify or represent. You don't even need the name of the company. When you see the logo of that brand, you can instantly remember, or I understand, okay, you can identify that this logo signifies or represents this company. So having a very useful and a unique logo is very important. Just don't go and buy template logos, because many people are using that same thing again and again. So you want a very unique logo or identification mark for your business. So how you can get it? It's very simple and easy. You don't even need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars or lakhs and lakhs of rupees. You can easily get a very unique and useful logo spending $50 to $80 on, or there are many websites where you can hire freelancers or graphic artists who can help you have a very unique and beautiful logo. Where you can get these freelancers, you can get them on Upwork, you can get them on Freelancer, you can get them on Fiverr. So once you go to these websites, you can register there. You can find out, like, you can look for minimal logo, you can have a word logo, you can have a identification symbol logo. So it all depends on your taste as well. Like for example, Nike has a swoosh mark, right? But In case of Exxon, they have a name right there, right? So it all depends. If you want a name logo, Axis Images has a name logo, Qbox Visuals has a symbol logo, SkillYogi has a symbol logo. So it all depends what you need, what you're looking for, what makes you and your brand unique. So you need to have a specification. You need to go to them and ask them like, this is my budget. You can have $50, $60 or $80. So once you hire someone from Upwork, Freelancer, or Fiverr.com, you need to give them very clear like regulation or rules that they need to follow, because most of the times what they do is they will just copy paste here and there and combine it all together, do a combination kind of thing and give it to you. You don't want that. You want a very unique and made from scratch logo. So you need to be very specific to them. You need to ask them to show you like sketches that they have used as a reference point to build your logo. So after which you will have a very specific, very unique logo which you can use on those social media websites and use it as watermark, which will signify and which will represent your brand. So after you have set up all these things, you have a logo, you have a very beautiful logo. Next thing that you need to have is a website. So what is a website? Before having a website, you need to have a domain. What is domain? For example, google.com, apple.com, facebook.com, twitter.com. These are the addresses, these are the name of the domains. So what you need to have is obviously the name that you have selected. You can go to namecheap.com, name.com, godaddy.com. There are multiple websites where you can buy domain from. You can go to these websites and there you will find a search engine where you can put your business name that you have selected and look for a .com extension. Why? We'll discuss that. So once you are searching for domain for your business name, we prefer that you have .com extension. Because why? Because .com extension is widely used and people by default remember .com extension, that facebook.com, if it was facebook.org or facebook.in. So people will be like, okay, first they will select or search for facebook.com. So it is preferable that you have .com domain or .com extension for your business, for your website. So if you don't get it, it's perfectly fine, but we definitely prefer, because if you don't have .com, there is someone else who is having .com and they might be having a similar name and a business with the similar name that you have selected. So you need to be very careful, and also this is quite helpful in terms of SEO as well, because .com domain ranks well in SEO and in Google ranks. Buying a domain is very easy and simple. You need to have a credit card and it will cost you around like $7 or maybe $10 or max to max $15 a year to retain and register that domain. So it is very cheap compared to running an offline business. So you can very easily buy a domain and using that you can build a website. So once you have purchased your domain, right, so the next thing that you need to have is build a website. You don't need to be a web developer to start a website or build a website. It's very easy and simple. Again, we would suggest you to go to freelancer.com, upwork.com or fiverr.com. Here you can easily build a WordPress website. WordPress is the widely used platform where you can build a website. It is very easy and simple and it doesn't cost a lot of money. It will generally cost you around like $60 or maybe $100 a year. Completely here. So it all depends how you're using it, how much photos you are uploading, how much videos you are uploading, how much storage you are using. So this is all depends on your requirement. There are certain things that you need to keep in mind. A website that you are building needs to have few pages. These pages are very important, because if these pages are not there on your website, so the website is not very useful for anyone who is coming to your website to learn more about you, learn more about your business, contact you and get your service, pay you for your service. So the first page that you need to have is a home page where all the details will be there, basic things will be there, like wedding photographer Kolkata, wedding photographer Siliguri, wedding photographer Darjeeling, wedding photographer New York. So these are the keywords that you need to use in the homepage itself. It will give a brief about what your business is all about, what service that you provide, and few sample images or sample videos of what you have done so far. So the next thing is you need to have a about us page, which will tell the viewer or the person who is visiting your website about you and who you personally are, because people are obviously they are going to render or they are going to hire you for your service, but they want to know more about you, where you are from, who you are, and a little bit about you. So you need to have about us section or about me section where you put up all the details, like from where you started, where you are based at, and how much experience that you have. Do you have any qualification or you have certification or anything, so you can put up all the details over there. This is a very important page, is contact us. When you're putting up all the portfolio, everything, you're putting everything on your website, but if you don't have a contact us page, so how people will contact you to have your service, to hire you for your service. So this is a very important thing. You need to have contact us page where there will be your phone number, your email ID, your WhatsApp number, your fax number, your second number, and also a form to fill out their requirement. Some people are hesitant to send you a mail. Some people are hesitant to give you a call. So what they will do is they will fill out the form. It has to have a name, email ID, phone number, and the date, location of the event. So they can just put it there. So in your contact page, you need to have these basic important things put up there so people can reach out to you and hire you for your service. Another important thing is, before they hire you, they need to know how much you charge, right? So there has to be a page where you put up all your pricing, like you're charging on hourly basis, on a day basis, on package basis, and all the deliverables that are there, photo booth, or all the nicks and knacks that you're providing to your client. So you need to have a very clear and precise and concise pricing table so people can understand how much you actually charge. And you should also mention that this includes taxes, or this doesn't include taxes, and how you are going to take payment, how much payment terms. And you need to have a very clear understanding, like we take 50% advance, we take 45% at the day of the event, we take 5% during delivery. So all the details, all the payment terms should be very clear and concise and precise over there, because it also constitutes as a legal agreement and legal display of your pricing. So this is very important. And last but not the least, portfolio. Because why people will hire you? You need to have a good portfolio. Like, they need to see your work, they need to see how and what quality of work that you do. So this is very important. You need to have a very specific page and very different and individual and separate pages for photos, videos, slideshows. And in photos itself, there are different rituals, there are different events. You can make a wedding, pre-wedding, post-wedding, something of that sort. And similar goes for videos as well. So here your portfolio should be very clear and easy to understand for viewers or the visitors who are looking for very specific requirements. So these are the very important pages that you need to have, and you must have these pages on your website. Once you're building it, you can hire someone from Fiverr or Upwork or Freelancer and pay them like $100. They can easily build a WordPress website for you. You need to buy hosting. You can buy hosting from GoDaddy, Name.com, Namecheap.com. It will cost you around like 60 to 70 bucks a year, $70 a year, or maybe 4,000 to 5,000 rupees a year. So this is very cheap compared to offline businesses. So here you need to have a website, a very clear and simple and fast loading website. So you have built your website, you have your social media accounts, everything is fine. You are getting leads, people are interested to hire you for your services. So the next thing is very important. Before there is any transaction, before there is any contract that is signed, you need to have a trade license. You need to legitimize your business. You cannot just randomly start your Facebook page, your YouTube page, your website and start transaction. That is completely illegal, because you are not paying tax to the government. So there is no legal documentation, or your business is not existing in eyes of the government. So this is very important. You need to have a trade license. It depends on where you live, and this is very simple and very easy to obtain. So basic terms are like sole proprietorship, where you are the owner of the business. Next is limited liability partnership, or LLP or LLC in case of US. And there is private company and corporation. So you don't need to go into very much details into that. But this is very important that you need to have a trade license of your business, so your business is registered. So without having a trade license, any business who wants to deal with you, because you won't have GST number, you won't have a legal documentation, you cannot give them a bill or issue a bill on the company name itself. So this is very important. So you can just Google in your city how you can register your business and go to the concerned authority and have a word with them and register your business. It doesn't take a lot of money, and you can start from sole proprietorship. But there are certain things that you need to keep in mind. LLC or LLP is the best way to go through, because it doesn't require a lot of paperwork, but it also helps you avoid liabilities. But if you don't know much about it, if you just want to start your business, you can just go for sole proprietorship and go ahead and start business and have a transaction and legally take money and provide them service. So when you're starting out your business, so typically people who are starting out business, they don't have a lot of capital, they don't have a lot of equipments, and seldomly they have backup equipments. So in this case, when someone is paying you to cover their event and hiring you for your services, you need to have backup equipments, and especially if it's a wedding event and if it's a one in a lifetime event. This is very important because you don't want to tell your client that, okay, sorry, my equipment is malfunctioning, sorry, I don't have backup equipment, sorry, my battery ran out. You don't want to have that, because worst case scenario, your client can sue you for a lot of money. So where you will go? So this is very important. So you have, it doesn't really matter, and it is not very important to buy all the equipments, because not everyone can. What you can do is you can hire those equipments, you can rent out those equipments that you need for your wedding event or for the event that you are going to capture or you are going to cover. So this is very important. So in this case, whatever capital that you have, you need to invest your capital very wisely. That doesn't mean that you will go out and buy $20,000 equipment, you will go buy 20 lakh rupees equipment. It is not required, not at all required. But what is required, that you need to have backup equipments, and you need to be very clear that, okay, even if I go and I have a single camera, I need to have a backup camera just in case. It doesn't really matter whether you are going to use that camera, but still, if anything goes wrong, and there is a principle, if anything is about to go wrong, it will go wrong. So this is very important, and you don't want to take that risk. So invest wisely, have proper equipments, have proper lighting, have proper lens, batteries, and camera body, which will help you cover the event. Even if there is a glitch or there is a failure of any equipment, you can just remove that, take the backup equipment, and cover the whole event without any hassle. So once you are done, you have covered the event, you are done with the post processing, you're done with the editing part and everything. So here, this is very important, where to upload and how frequently you need to upload, because you're building a business, right? You need to constantly put out your content online and show people that what you are doing, what kind of work, what quality of work that you do, and what quality of service that you provide to your clients. So here, it is very important, because you don't need to upload everywhere. You need to upload where your clients are. It doesn't really matter, because if you are a wedding photographer and you are uploading across the internet, because there are thousands and thousands of platforms, and if you upload everywhere, it's not going to help you. You are only going to waste your time, you're only going to waste your resources. You don't want that. You don't want to waste your time and energy. You want to save your energy, you want to save your time. So you have to upload the content that you're putting out. For example, if you're a wedding photographer, you need to put out your content or the work that you're doing or the portfolio that you are growing on the platform where you see or you find, or where your customer base is. You can find them on Facebook. Typically, wedding photographers, they find their clients on Facebook, YouTube, on Instagram, on Pinterest. So if you upload that content on Reddit, it's not going to help you unless and until you are very specific and you know that your client base is there. So you have to select and you have to shortlist the websites or the platform where you will put up or regularly update your content on your page that you have created there. So you have uploaded all the content on your social media pages, right? So the next thing that you need to do, obviously, you need to upload those content on your website as well. You can share that on social media where people can click on and go to your website and see all the amazing photos and videos that you have shot, right? And the next thing, which is very important, is SEO. What is SEO? SEO is nothing but search engine optimization. It might sound a very, very complicated term for you, or you might have heard about it, but you don't know about it. Search engine is nothing, SEO is nothing but it helps you to rank better in Google rankings. When you search up for something, you will find a lot of results, right? There are thousands, millions of results. How you can reach the top level, it is very important, because that is the first thing that anyone is searching for is able to see. So you want to get to that spot. You want to get to top 1 or top 2 or top 5 rankings. This is very important. So in this case, how you can work on SEO? SEO is not very much complicated. You can take up other courses on our website, on our channel. You can also learn about it. And specifically, we have worked for wedding photographers and for photographers, how you can work on SEO and grow your business. So you have to use keywords. Keywords are very much important, like wedding photographer, Kolkata, wedding photography, candid wedding photography, Indian wedding photography, Muslim wedding photography, Hindu wedding photography, South Asian wedding photography. So these are the terms that you need to use while writing captions or writing a blog post on your website. So it will help you and help SEO to search and give better search results for those people who are looking for answers, and it will give you better SEO rankings, because people are looking for wedding photographer, South Indian wedding photographer in Kolkata. So your website will rank better, so people will be able to view your website much higher compared to others. So this will give you more and more leads. So along with SEO, what you can do is you can register on other directories as well, wedding directories as well. For example, weddingbuyer.com and WedMeGood, and there is Just Dial. There are multiple websites where people are looking for options and looking for people who can help them do something or cover something, and they're looking for your services. So you want to register your business there, which will give you better SEO result as well. It will help you to improve your domain authority. If you don't understand domain authority, is completely fine, but it will help you with your SEO. So you need to register your business on other directories as well, which are there on the internet. Most of them are free of cost, and after which they will keep on nagging you to upgrade, but you don't need to upgrade. But at least you will have your profile on those websites where people can have a look, and at least they will understand that your business is existing. So this is very important. So the next thing that you need to do is start spamming. Spamming sounds very weird and very cliched, but it's not like that. Spamming, it can be useful as well. So I'm not saying that constantly hammer out or just spam random people, like send them thousands and thousands of messages. Don't do that. Never do that. But it can be done in a very creative manner. How you can do that? You can just share your post on the internet, on Facebook groups, on your page, on Pinterest, on YouTube, on Instagram, slowly and gradually. You don't need to put thousands and hundreds of posts every day. You don't need to do that. Never do that. But do it in a consistent manner. You put up 3 posts maybe a week, 1 post a day, 1 photo a day, share a post a day on Facebook group, on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page. So your page is updated and people are able to watch or view your content on a regular basis, which will help you with SEO as well, and your brand visibility or your business reach will increase as well. So people will know more about you, and it will help you increase in lead conversion. You will get more and more leads. So this is very important. And another thing that you can do is you can collaborate with other photographers. For example, you are a wedding photographer, right? You can collaborate with a fashion photographer and you can have a fusion of wedding and fashion all together. And what you can do, what it does is it helps with cross promotion. So you are promoting your business in their domain and they are using your business or your outreach or your domain to increase their visibility or promote their business. So cross promotion is very important. So collaboration can help you cross promote your business on each other's target audience, which will help you have better brand recognition. So the next thing that you can do is target competitors' clients. Typically, you will see testimonials, right? You will see reviews on Google, on Facebook. So the best thing that you can do is, it's very obvious and it's very weird. It might sound very illogical, but it works. So what you can do is you can reach out to them, see where they're working or which company they are at or which company they represent. You can just contact them and you can just have a word with them. Okay, this is like you can just put out a mail to them or call them up and tell them, okay, this is our company. We are working in this domain. We recently started out and we would love to work with you and give us an opportunity to work with you and provide you our services. It is very cost effective. It is better quality, blah, 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 blah. It's up to you how you will sell your services. And from there, you will see you are targeting your competitors' clients, and maybe even if you get one client from there, it's very useful and beneficial for you, right? Because you are taking away clients from your competitors. So this is how you can grow your client base in the initial stage. Next thing which is very important is how to set pricing. Pricing is very important because you don't want to put your pricing very high or very low. You want to set pricing at a level where you make profit, but you're not very overcharging or undercharging. So this is very important. How to do that? It is very basic mathematics. You need to understand what is your monthly expense or yearly expense. What are your liabilities? If you have any loan or debt, you need to have that. You need to consider that as well. And you need to understand how many weddings that you can do, how many events that you can cover, and how many weddings or events that you are expecting to cover, or how many clients you are expecting to have in a year or so. And once you have the expense that you have, and you need to understand how many, or have a guesswork. Don't be very over optimistic. Have a very like realistic figure, maybe 5, 10, whatever that you have, 5, 10 weddings. So you take 10 weddings, have an expense like maybe $50,000 or 5 lakh rupees, and you have 10 weddings. So per wedding, you need to have $5,000 or maybe 50,000 rupees. So here you have the minimum amount that you need to charge every client to make your business sustainable. Even if you charge $5,000 a wedding or 50,000 rupees a wedding, if you do 10 weddings a year, you are just break even. You're doing break even. You're not going at a loss or making a profit. So this is the best part of starting a business, because you want to reach that break even level as soon as possible. So beyond which everything is profit. Even if you do like 12 weddings, $10,000 is your profit, or 1 lakh rupees is your profit. So this is how you can set pricing, and along with that, you have set your pricing, you need to test the market as well. As I said prior, when you are looking for competition and how big the market is, how big market size is, who is your competition, you can just go around and see what quality of work people are doing, what they are charging. You can pretend to be a client and have a word with them. This is nothing wrong. This is like this is not a malpractice. People do it. You can do it as well. You can ask them how much you are charging. They will tell you, okay, this is what you are going to offer you, this is how we are going to charge, and you can understand how much you need to charge, or whether you need to decrease your amount or charges, or whether you need to increase your pricing or charges. So this is how you can set your pricing in your city and have a start and have a profitable business. So this is very important. You don't want to randomly put any pricing in your website and face a loss. You don't want that. And another thing which is very important when you're starting out, when you're getting a trade license for your business, you need to have a current account, because if you do transaction with using your savings account, it might attract legal penalties or something of that sort, because when you're doing frequent transactions, it is not really allowed. Savings account are only for savings and personal use. It is not allowed to use for professional purposes or for business purposes. For business purposes, when you have trade license, you can go to any bank, any nationalized bank, any registered bank, and tell them, okay, this is the trade license that I have. I want to start a bank account. I want to have a current account with this business name, and with using that business name, you can have numerous transactions daily which won't attract any charges or penalties. So this is very important. And another thing which is very important is you need to have a email account. When you're having an email account, when you're sending someone, if someone is asking for a quotation, you don't want to send roger@gmail.com, rogerphotography@gmail.com. That sounds and that looks very unprofessional. What you need to have is alex or roger@yourcompanyname.com. This looks very much professional, right? This is what you need to have. When you're making a website, when you're buying a domain, you need to have alex, care, order, service, review, whatever that is, whatever that you name you have, you can use that name. You need to use that name @yourwebsitename.com. This is very important. This looks very professional. This looks very elegant, and people will respect you more because they know, okay, if they are using their own business name, so it sounds very professional. Because branding, it helps you with building a better brand. It helps you improve your brand value. So in this course, we have seen that how you can start your photography business. We have gone through all the details, very like basic things, and you are getting clients. You are very happy. We are very excited. You are earning money, and you are very happy, very jolly. But you need to understand, you need to focus on branding as well. What is branding? I'll just give you a simple example. If you're looking to buy a cell phone, if someone tells you like, okay, I'm looking to buy maybe a HTC phone or a T-Mobile phone or a Nokia phone or a Xiaomi phone, right? And if someone gives me an option like, would you like to buy an Apple phone? You will be like, yes, but it costs $300 extra or maybe 30,000 rupees extra. Why do people pay for that? Functionalities are the same. A phone or a cell phone is used to call, right? Or to do text messaging or to access apps, right? It's the same thing. So why will I pay a substantial amount of money to buy an Apple phone? It's all about the brand name, because they have built that brand name. So they can charge a lot of money. They demand that money. They can demand, and they are demanding that money. So you want to reach that level when you're starting your business. You want to reach that level of branding. Your brand has to be that valuable that people are very happily and willingly able to pay for your services. So in this case, what you need to do is, obviously, you need to have a very clear understanding. You need to be very specific which target audience that you're going after. You cannot just spray and pay. You cannot do that. You cannot afford to do that. For some people it works, but for specific and most of the majority of people it doesn't work. So you have to be very specific who is your customer and which kind of customer that you're going after. You cannot have a very wide range of pricing. You need to have a very specific, maybe 2-3 ranges of pricing. You can work, if for example, if you're charging $4,000 average, you can go from $3,500 to $5,500. So if you want to go like $500, you are diluting your brand value. So this is very important. Next thing is, whenever you're uploading content online, on social media, on your website, you need to put your logo there on everywhere. Because when people see that this is your logo, people can instantly understand and recognize your business. So this is how you can build your business. And along the way, you need to have positive review as well. You will have negative reviews as well, but you need to address them very positively. You cannot just react and give them slang or abuse them. You don't want to do that. Even if there is a negative review, you want to approach them, try to resolve it. If there is no resolution, it's perfectly fine. Let it be there, but make sure that people understand that you have tried your best. So this is how slowly and gradually you can build your brand and build a successful photography business. And I hope you best of luck. Hi, I am Ambarish. So in this course, we'll learn how you can start your own photography business. So you have been aspiring to become a full-time photographer, right? You might be practicing as a hobby photographer, as a freelance photographer, and right now you're looking to start your own brand, build your own brand, and start a photography business in your city. So first thing that you need to understand is starting a business is not a big deal, but sustaining that business for a longer period of time, having a recurring revenue, having a substantial and positive cash flow, and having profits is very much important, and having adequate amount of capital is very much important to keep your business running and to make your business successful. So in this course, we'll walk you through all the details that you need to follow and take care while starting your business, so you don't fall into the trap of having lawsuits and all and running out of money. Because when you're starting out business, capital is very important, and there are certain things which you need to keep in mind, because mostly photographers are creative people and not very business savvy people. So that is why this course is very important for you. In this course, we'll also learn how you can name your business, how domain and having search engine optimization, having a dedicated team, and having the right equipment can help you get better and good clients, and it can also add your brand